Next on the news, 4 men are less than 10 days away from their ordination, ready to serve the Diocese of Brooklyn as priests. But for one of them, he's used to being called father.
They always call me little father, like Padrecito. Okay, Padrecito. It was funny.
Deacon Luis Marquez's path to the priesthood. They are making their way across the country and stopping in New York City. The National Eucharistic Pilgrimage is underway. Bishop Robert Brennan says it's a faith-filled journey you won't want to miss.
This is going to be an exciting couple of days for us.
I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Four men are just over a week away from making a life-changing commitment to serve God and his people. The transitional deacons will be ordained priests for the Diocese of Brooklyn on June 1st. And leading up to that special day, we've been bringing you their stories. Currents News' Jessica Easthope reports on one deacon's path to the priesthood, which she says began as a childhood dream.
He's not playing dress-up anymore. These days, Deacon Luis Marquez gets vested for real.
They always call me little father, like Padrecito. Okay, Padrecito. It was funny.
And soon, he'll be the man he's always dreamed of being, a priest of the people.
Sometimes they need somebody to listen to them. As a priest, we should do that.
His future has promise, but in his past, there was pain. As a kid, he grew up in Medellin, Colombia, during the height of notorious cartel leader Pablo Escobar's reign of terror.
Everybody knows Medellin, for good or for bad.
His childhood years were lived in fear.
So we couldn't go to enjoy ice cream in the park, to go to mass, like car bombs and everything. And it was no secure place to live.
Deacon Luis's father was a police officer, an enemy of the most powerful man in his country.
He was sending people to kill policemen. My father, he suffered a lot, and we suffered a lot because every time he left home, we didn't know if he was going to come back.
In 2004, his family started a new life in the U.S. Here, Deacon Luis was met with a new set of challenges.
I was not happy. I couldn't find the same feelings that I felt when I was in Medellin.
His formation took a 10-year hiatus. Over that time, he graduated college and began teaching Spanish to children in New Jersey.
It was a beautiful experience, and I learned many things from them.
It was among those kids that God called him again to fulfill the promise he made to his younger self. He got to relive his childhood through their eyes, experiencing the carefree life he missed out on. Today, Deacon Luis says his inner child has healed. Padrecito is grateful.
This is like a sign that we are Jesus Christ for people.
And now he's ready to just be Padre. In Williamsburg, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
You can tune into Deacon Luis's big day at the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph on June 1st, right here on Net TV. Of course, Bishop Robert Brennan will be there to ordain him and 3 other deacons to the priesthood. It all begins at 11 o'clock right here on Net TV. You can also read more about those on the path to the priesthood for the Diocese of Brooklyn in the tablet. Along with Currents News, the tablet is introducing you to these soon-to-be priests. Plus, picking up the tablet means you are supporting Catholic journalism. And you don't have to stop there. You can also join the tablet's membership program. To learn more about it and see the full list of all the prizes you could get for your generous donation, just go to thetablet.org/become-a-member. 1 month after Brooklyn's own Eucharistic revival, we are now preparing for the National Eucharistic Congress on July 17th. In fact, the pilgrims are already making their way to Indianapolis. Here to talk more about it is Diocese of Brooklyn's Bishop Robert Brennan. Hi, Bishop.
Hi, Christine.
So, Bishop, we're still on a high from the Diocese of Brooklyn's Eucharistic revival. Do you hope having the national pilgrimage come through the diocese will kind of keep that momentum going?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is great going around to visit different parishes. People are talking about their experience of our Eucharistic revival event, and yeah, we're looking forward to having the pilgrimage pass through Brooklyn on its way from New Haven to Indianapolis. This is going to be an exciting couple of days for us.
It definitely is. And last year, the executive director of the National Eucharistic Congress, Tim Glemkowski, met with Pope Francis, who shared his excitement for the event. Let's listen.
We had a private audience in Rome with the Holy Father where he really shared his heart for this movement, an encounter with Jesus in the Eucharist that leads us on mission as a church. And his energy and enthusiasm were clear for the mission. It was an incredible moment.
In that meeting, Pope Francis promised to name a delegate for the Eucharistic Congress. And as you know, this week he did, naming Cardinal Louis Tagle, pro-prefect of the Dicastery for Evangelization. How important is it that the Pope sends a personal representative?
It's very important. It happens for large, major gatherings of the Church, and this is a gathering of the Church in the United States. And his choice of Cardinal Tagle couldn't be better. I know him a little bit. We've had different opportunities to connect, but I'll tell you something. When we went to World Youth Day, the pilgrimage of the young people from Brooklyn, Queens, we went to Fatima, and he kind of got swapped in for Mass at the last minute. And he was amazing. The young people just clung to everything he said. He can be a little bit funny, but he makes a very good, very important point. He'll be a wonderful delegate for the United States.
Oh, sounds like it. Now, we all remember the Pew Research study, which kind of inspired the revival. It showed that only 1/3 of Catholics believe in the true presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. So since this has all started, how have you seen the hearts of the faithful change?
I've seen some changes. It's hard to determine exactly how things line up. But, you know, first of all, I always said some of the issue is an issue of expression in terms of not that people don't believe in the real presence of Christ, but really have a hard time expressing what that means. On the totally other side, I think a deeper crisis connected to it is knowing Jesus. It's, you know, how do you talk about real presence unless you really know Jesus Christ and have that relationship? And I see that deepening around here. I see that being something that's very important. Even going back when I first came, some of the concerns at the Synod, when you think about it, it was how can we get to know Jesus Christ better? How can we live our faith out better? Pastors are telling me in the last few months, I don't think it's because of anything we did, but just a general change. Pastors are noting greater numbers, people coming to Mass, especially around Lent and Holy Week and Easter. We're starting to see some of, if not the pre-pandemic numbers, close to those pre-pandemic numbers. And I think that may have a lot to do with just people becoming more comfortable and also feeling the need for what the Church has to offer. It's for that encounter with Jesus Christ.
Well, that's great news. And so we were told there was a slight change in the route for pilgrims in Brooklyn. You've invited Bishop Mansour of Our Lady of Lebanon Maronite Cathedral to join. Talk about what this adds to the journey.
Well, it's important to remember that the Maronite Church is the Catholic Church. St. John Paul II used to speak of the church speaking with two lungs. And so there is another Brooklyn cathedral. There's our cathedral of St. James and, of course, the Co-Cathedral. But there's a Maronite cathedral serving people with Lebanese backgrounds that really extends to a greater part of the East Coast, at least. And Bishop Mansour is the bishop of that diocese. And so it's important. A visit to Brooklyn has to visit both St. James and Our Lady of Lebanon. So I'm glad. Basically, this is an experience of the whole Catholic Church, not the Latin Rite diocese. It's an expression of the whole Church, and we share the one Eucharist and the one faith. And we we are very good friends with each other here in Brooklyn.
All right, well, it's going to be a great experience this weekend for everyone. Bishop Robert Brennan, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
To learn more about all things related to the National Eucharistic Pilgrimage and Congress, just go to eucharisticrevival.org. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.